I left at 11.
Forrest? Forrest, you ready? Okay, good talking to you. All right, so we're putting it all together here. Okay, you ready? We've done all of this stuff before. Now we're going to do the whole deal. So what's our first step?
Make it equal to 0.
Okay, it's equal to 0. Now what?
Solve x.
Okay, how?
Well, what way do you want to do it?
Power function, something.
You can put 8, the 0, well, the factors.
Okay, good. So Becca says we're going to look for rational zeros first, which are going to be the factors of the constant term over the factors of the first one. So plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 4, and plus or minus 8 and those are all over plus or minus 1, but that doesn't change anything. Are all of our possible rational roots.
What about 0?
No. 0 we know won't work.
How?
Well, because if I can just look at it, if I plug in 0 for x, because of this plus 8, I get 8, not 0. So that can't be an answer. Okay? How do I figure out which one of those will work?
Put it in.
Put it into the synthetic division and just guess. What's the best way? What's the better way instead of just guessing? I mean, we could, but there's 8 of them. What? Yeah, let's take a look at the graph and find some easy ones from there.
I better do this.
Yeah.
Did you see Broken Tourists and not watching Spy on Facebook the night of?
Okay, that was just rude though. They were just being normal for it.
Okay,
That
well,
was
was
intense.
Forrest
Definitely was jumping into that.
Yeah, but Forrest jumped into it.
He did. He didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at the graph, you can see that it crosses the graph at -2 at 1 and 4. Okay, and that matches with our possible rational roots right here. So I'm going to go -2 first. I'm going to go 1, -3, -5, 5, -6, 8.
Did I do this to all of them?
Did we do this before?
Yep, we did this before, and yes, we have to do this for all of them. -10, -5.
All right, we're just making sure it works.
No, what I'm doing is putting in the -2, and now I'm going to use these answers here. So I'm getting it down to lower and lower degrees. Okay, so -2 works as expected. Now I'm going to use
How about 1?
1, but like I said, I'm going to use 1 on our answers from the first one, not back to the original one.
I
So
think I want to do that though.
always do that.
Always.
Yeah. Okay, so 1 works also.
Hold on, Aldrich, you're going really fast.
Okay, so now we're going to do 4. Okay, so 4, 0, 0, 1, 4, 0. Okay, so those are our only 3 rational roots because those are the only places where the graph crossed the x-axis. But how many roots altogether does this function have?
Oh,
5, yeah, because it is a x to the 5th. Okay, so how do we? So there's 2 more. How do we find the other 2?
Quadratic function.
Quadratic equation, yeah. And so that's why we're using the periodically smaller and smaller things for the synthetic division, because now we have a equals 1, b equals 0, and c equals 1. Okay, Becca, did you want to?
Yeah, can you do
It is indeed.
zeros in any order?
Yes. If you do them in any, you can do these in any order that you want, and you still end up with 1, 0, 1 at the end. Strange but true. Okay. How did you get I and negative I, Ashley? Oh, you just did it on your calculator. Okay, so if you put this in the calculator, that's one way you can do it. You find the other ones are I and negative I. The other way that you can do it is if you know A is 1 and C is 1, then that means your equation is x squared plus 1 equals 0. And you can solve that by hand by subtracting 1 and then taking the square roots. Okay? But no matter how you do it, you get as your final answer -2, 1, 4, I, and negative I. Okay? Does that make sense?
All right, you said the bicycle.
Okay? Okay, and then you can also use this to write it out in its factored form. So what did we get again? -2, 1, 4, I, and negative I?
Yes, really?
So what would that be?
X plus 2.
X plus 2.
X minus 1, X plus 4, X minus I, X plus I.
Right, so we're still in the same problem?
Uh-huh.
It's a math.
It's madness.
What are you doing?
Writing it out as a bunch of linear factors. What's that? Oh yeah, I'm not going to FOIL it out. I'm just rewriting it like this. Okay? So I have factored that original equation into these 5 pieces.
So that's the final
okay?
answer?
That would be your final
That
answer.
is
yeah.
like the worst thing I've ever.
Okay, Forrest? Forrest? I don't feel like I have your full attention today. Not even close. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes. More so than Courtney, never have had hers. Maybe once in the last 3
She was
years.
just paying attention.
You were? Okay. That's good, because I am seriously giving you like your own test for this chapter. Your own special one.
She's gonna ace it.
Okay, one more thing.
Like mine.
One minus 2I.
Z equals 1 minus 2I
Means
is a 0 of,
All of yourself is relative.
Do you just spoil all of that?
we're doing another one. Is this different?
so not really. This time they're going to give you a 0 to start with. So they're giving you 1 minus 2I as a 0 of that function. And then we need to find the other 3. How do I know there's 3? X to the 4th, which means there's 4 total. They already gave us 1, so that means we have 3 left. Okay?
Will we write it with a 0 or should we not do that?
Write it with the 0.
Do you went from 4x?
Right, so when we do synthetic division here, we're going to need to go 4, 0, 17, 14, 65.
Why can't we just do the factors of 65 like we did?
We could, but I already know one of the zeros, so I'm going to use that first. Okay? So I'm going to put 1 minus 2I in the box. Okay? And this is synthetic.
Oh, yeah, this is when you have to.
What? Well, synthetic division is sort of a way of doing long division. Oh, no, this will work because, yeah, because it's I thing. It'll be 4x. Okay. Okay, so what do I do first for my synthetic division?
Draw the 1 minus.
Now the 4.
And then you put it, you distribute it.
Okay, so 1 minus 2I times 4 is 4 minus 8I. And then I just multiply these by 4.
That's all you have to do.
And then you add those together, so you get 4 minus 8I. Then here's the bad news. Drew saw this coming.
0 plus.
Now what do I do with the 1 minus 2I and the 4 minus 8I? I have to multiply those together, yeah. So we go 1 minus 2I times 4 minus
It's gonna take weeks.
8I. Doesn't seem like it. 1 times 4 is 4. And then this is going to be negative 8I in the middle and negative 8I on the outside. So that's going to be a total of negative 16I. And then negative 2I times negative 8I is positive 16I squared, which is really negative 16. So that is negative 12 minus 16I. Okay, so that didn't take us weeks.
Time for him to do it again.
Yeah, now you get to do it again, right? So add those together and you get
You add 5 minus 6.
5 minus 16I. Add the real part together and leave the imaginary alone. So now I get to FOIL this out again. So I'll only give you 8 or 10 of these to do as homework.
Oh, you were here.
Okay, where the 5 minus 16? Are you like 2?
17 minus 12 is 5.
Oh,
Okay? Okay, so first times first is 5. Then we should be able to do the inside and the outside in our heads.
No, 32 minus. That's the outside.
What?
Oh, shoot.
No, it's not
It's not 36. Inside is negative 10. Outside is
Negative 16.
negative 16. So altogether that's negative 26. We were
What?
close.
And then you're gonna have 32.
10 and 16 makes
How did
26.
you know?
Okay, and then what'd you say, Drew?
32i squared.
Positive 32i squared, which is really
Negative.
negative 32. So that comes out to be negative,
27.
What about?
what's that?
Oh,
Okay, so that goes right here. So somehow magically this is going to end up to be negative 65. So what do you get when you add those together?
13.
Negative 13. Okay. Now we could really stop right there because they told us that's a 0. So I know for sure that this answer is going to be negative 65. Okay? Right? That's the only way that will work. But we might want to check our math here, make sure we did this right.
Mr. Aldridge, what they tell us?
Right in the corner, the first number you use.
Yeah, I
1
know, but
minus
I don't
2i.
see where that is. On
Right here, z equals 1 minus 2i is a 0.
But inside, where on our, where we've been doing our work is
Right here,
that?
You multiply it by 4.
right?
Synthetic division. You start with the 0 and you
Right,
multiply
but
it.
so do you, I don't understand your question.
When you said it's off, we can stop right there.
Because they told us at the beginning that this is a 0, which means at the end that should get a 0 right there. Yeah, but I want to get Forrest caught up here. Smartest man alive. Okay, we'll just do it though, and you'll see how it works out. So I'm going to go 1 minus 2i times negative 13 minus 26i. So first times first is negative 13. And then fun things happen in the middle. Negative 2i times negative 13 is positive 26i. 1 times negative 26i is negative 26i, so those cancel. Okay? And then negative 2i times negative 26i is positive 52i squared, which is really negative 52, which does in fact work out to be negative 65. Okay? Which is what we expected. All right, so I'm going to erase my work there.
This is like.
I'll go in now.
0.
Okay, so that's, like I said, one of the zeros, but our job is to find the 3 other ones.
What was the point of doing that?
Because now we can use the, it's called the repressed polynomial. What's the next one that we know for sure?
It's gonna,
Close.
1 plus 2i.
Very nice. 1 plus 2i.
Good job. Good job.
Okay? So, and you'll see this is going to work out a lot easier, so you'll be okay. Nope, it's going to take about a minute. So if I go 1 plus 2i times 4, what do I get?
4 plus 8i.
4 plus 8i, which conveniently now, when I add those together, the minus 8i and plus 8i cancel and leave me with 8.
What? Oh.
Okay? Then when I go 1 plus 2i times 8, I get,
How's that confusing?
how does this, well, the minus 8i and the plus 8i cancel,
Yeah.
and 4 plus 4 is 8.
Oh.
Okay? Then if I go 1 plus 2i times 8, I get 8 plus 16i. Once again, minus 16i plus 16i cancel. 5 plus 8 is 13. Okay, yeah. So 13 times 1 plus 2i is magically 13 plus 26i, which is 0. Okay? So the second time through, all the stuff should cancel.
These are just,
No.
Is it just like happy that it worked? I can't remember how it's all.
No, that'll always happen.
So then why do that, so we can also find the respective.
Right, and the reason why we did this is because now we know A, B, and C, And so we can get the last two zeros by doing the what? Quadratic formula. Did you get it? What do you got?
-1 plus 1.5
-1 plus what? -1 plus 1.5i and -1 minus 1.5i. All right? So they gave us this zero to start with, and then we were able to figure out the other three missing ones from there. Okay? And this is one that we could not do by graphing because how many times does this cross the x-axis? 0, because all of these solutions are imaginary. Okay? So it never crossed the x-axis.
I feel like you're just one of those people that just never gets sick.
I hope not, because like she was pretty much on death's door.